everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about the top 4 most expensive car repairs that you can unfortunately possibly have to do. With that being said, these car repairs are generally speaking very expensive, and the prices and the things that I'll be stating are just general guidelines. Obviously the prices can vary from one car to the next, but I'll be talking about some general price guidelines about what you can be looking for with regards to these repairs. Repair number 1 is to replace a cylinder. Now, replacing a cylinder is really expensive. And oftentimes it's actually cheaper to replace a whole engine than it is to replace a cylinder. Replacing a cylinder can cost thousands of dollars, okay? But a cylinder plays an essential role in allowing your engine to run, period. Not just to run smoothly, but to run, period. So with that being said, oftentimes when someone has to replace a cylinder, they'll contemplate replacing the whole engine because it can be cheaper to just replace the entire engine than just replace the cylinder. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is a transmission. Now, I'm sure everybody that's driven for at least a handful of years has heard of someone that has had to replace a transmission. A transmission is very expensive to replace. Firstly, because there are many small parts within a transmission, and all of those small parts create a cost of the car part that is very high. So the transmission itself is really expensive, but in addition to that, it's a very labor-intensive job for the mechanic to do. So with that being said, the labor cost is also going to be high. And when you pair those two things together, the expensive car part and the expensive labor cost, you get a very expensive car repair of replacing a transmission. Okay, very simple, and it can easily run you thousands of dollars. With that being said, number 3 is a camshaft. Now, a camshaft, just like a cylinder, plays an absolutely essential role in allowing an engine to run, period. Not even run smoothly, but in allowing an engine to run. It's crucial for allowing an engine to run. And it's a very labor-intensive job because there's lots of parts to remove in order to replace the camshaft, and then there's lots of parts to reinstall. So it's a very labor-intensive job, and with that being said, it can be very expensive. Replacing a camshaft, in my opinion, is very similar to replacing a head gasket, in that the actual car part isn't that expensive, but the labor is very intensive, so it gets to be an expensive repair. And last but not least, I actually just mentioned this, is number 4, which is a head gasket. Replacing a head gasket is a very expensive job. Once again, you're looking at well over $1,000 most of the time. The head gasket itself is actually quite cheap, but the labor to replace the head gasket is really intense. It takes a long time. There's lots of components and parts to work with, and with that being said, it can run you up a lot of money in labor costs. And a head gasket, if the head gasket fails, then you're getting your coolant and oil mixing together, and you're getting engine overheating problems. So with that being said, you definitely need to replace your head gasket if it blows, because your engine is at risk if you are driving a car with a blown head gasket and you're not replacing it. And that's basically it. Those are 4 of the most expensive car repairs that you can do. Unfortunately, some people have cars and they break down, and that's very common for cars to break down, but to have to replace these things, you know, they're game changers. That's what I like to call them. If you have an old car and you have a repair bill that's going to cost you $2,500 and the car itself is only worth $3,000, at that point you might even consider just selling it for parts, because, you know, these repairs can be game changers in my opinion. And that's basically it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.